Okay, so we're doing a demo of how to do a gelx extension all the way through. I'm prepping with a medium sanding band on a pretty low speed on my drill, cleaning up around the cuticle, like completely around the cuticle, because like that's what's gonna cause lifting. If you think you're prepping right and you're still getting lifting, it's probably because you're still left over cuticle. I keep getting out of frame here, so sorry about that, but I'm just showing you guys there's no shine. There should be no shine after prep. Now I'm going to go in with Dehydrator, just make sure that everything is really there. I think it's like so satisfying looking at it, like so satisfying. It's the Nail Couture one. I got it in a kit and I bought like the whole extension line from them. I like the prep and the primer. Same thing with the primer. It's Nail Couture. Going everywhere, taking my time, making sure it's prepped. Using the Sean, I think there's not the Sean Legend ones. The square extra long. No, I think they're just long. Since he's gonna pop that off, we put a layer of oil and top coat, but it's gonna work the same way. I'm sizing it to make sure it fits from like corner to corner of his nail, or like edge to edge, without having to press down super hard. Because when you have to push down super hard, it's going to start lifting, or it's going to be uncomfortable for them when they're wearing it. And this is just me showing you that it's prepped, etched on the inside with the sanding bit, and on the cuticle to make it thinner. And then the gel prep, you don't have to use this. You could use acetone or alcohol. Basically the same thing. I just use it because, I bought it, I might as well use it. And using the Extend Gel and the color Insatiable. I feel like these tend to like not dry as fast, or they take longer to dry, I guess, because it's more opaque than a clear, obviously. But I like the color. I think it's super pretty, and I'm applying it on the inside. So I'm doing like a thin layer all the way up to where I etched, and then I'm gonna pull some in the cuticle and make sure it covers from edge to edge of the cuticle. And now I'm gonna apply it. So I'm gonna do at a 45-degree angle, even pressure. Once it hits the cuticle, I'm gonna push down on it so there's no air bubbles there. Make sure it's straight, and then push down, and then tap, 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 tap. Make sure it's covering the free edge. And then I'm gonna keep adjusting it. He's had surgery on the finger, so it's a little crooked. Now I'm gonna flash cure it. I got this little gooseneck light from Amazon. It's kind of strong if you have thinner nail beds or just like super sensitive to that. But just keep holding it on for at least 10 seconds. Anything after that, it should usually cured by that time. But I'm just making sure, because I hate when it's not fully cured and there's little bubbles and it's all, and you can see it after, I'm just applying pressure and making sure it's not too hot. And it's on there after the flash cure. Well, he cured it. I'm just checking to make sure there's no gap underneath it or anything. Now I'm gonna file and shape the free edge. Some people just leave it like this, they just barely clean it up. But I tilt my file inwards, I guess, at an angle, so it looks super sharp. Instead of a 90 degree, I would say it's like 45 degrees forward. And you can definitely see that when you look at the nail from the side view. I know it looks like I'm going super hard, but I'm not, I guess. I'm cleaning up the side walls and the free edge, making sure there's no extra gel on the sides. Slimming it down a little bit, just because, every nail bed every nail thing that you put on needs to be customized to the client's nail bed. So I'm keeping those pretty parallel to each other. I'm showing you the shape. Looks pretty good. Showing the sidewall. You can see that there's a little bit, so I'm gonna go in there and clean it up. Okay, now I'm gonna drill. I can't remember what it's called, but I got this one off of Amazon, this drill bit. I really like it for doing this. It cleans up the cuticle really well without being too rough or anything. I have big hands in the way. Cleaning up around the cuticle, I like to leave a little gap. I know some people don't like that, but I like it. I think it looks cleaner. And once you seal that, I'm just blending it in so there's no like little dents or scrapes or bumps. Making sure there's nothing on the skin, because that's what's going to cause lifting. Yeah. And now I'm buffing over lightly. I got these little disposable ones on Amazon too. I've seen people that just don't buff at all, or they use a sanding band to buff all over it, or they use the gelx prep or acetone to prep. For me, that doesn't really work too well. I've seen people that do it and it works really well for them, but I think I'm used to just buffing. I think it's satisfying too. I also go over the cuticles with it because it makes everything blend a lot more seamlessly, gives it a finished look, makes things look more professional when you're painting and when you're done. And cleaning up any extra little pieces that are hanging sometimes when you file. I'm using the D&D color Cherry Mocha. Love their gel polishes. They're super good quality and they're not expensive. So I'm just gonna polish. So you get a good amount on your brush. The longer the nail is, the more you're gonna kind of need to load up your brush. And then I push towards the cuticle and I drag it down. I get a little bit on the skin, but it'll be cleaned up a little later on. So I'm loading it up, pushing it forward and dragging down. And getting more where I need to. I keep getting out of frame. Obviously this is my first like big video and you can tell. Yeah, just doing an even application. We're gonna do 2 layers of this color and then matte top coat it. So I'm gonna clean up the sides. Now I'm going in for the second coat. It's the same thing as the first one, except towards the end I'm gonna cap the edge. And again, you don't have to do that. It's just what I think it's just what I was taught, and so I don't really stray away from what works. If it works for me, I'm gonna keep it because I don't want to like compromise anything or have it start chipping or anything like that, because I don't like when my gel starts chipping, because then I start picking and it's a whole thing. So I'm just doing a second coat and cleaning up any extra that gets on the skin. Don't let gel cure on the skin, because then that's how you get allergies and a whole bunch of stuff. Just capping the ends, cleaning up. Such a pretty color. And I'm using the Beetles Gel Matte Top Coat. I think it's one of my favorite ones. I like this one and the D&D one. They're both super nice. They don't leave little streaks, and they're not sticky when they get out of the UV light, you know what I mean? So I'm just doing a nice even coat. Same technique that I was doing before. And when I was first starting, I was like, I can't even see where I'm putting it because it's shiny on shiny. Just take your time when you're applying top coat, because I've seen that sometimes people kind of rush it and it's on the cuticles, on the side walls. I'm cleaning up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to cure it for 60 seconds in the UV lamp. There it is, nice and matte. We're going to go in with some hand-drawn flames. So I'm using the same color, the Cherry Mocha by D&D. And with a little liner brush. And basically, I'm making a little U. And kind of just flicking it up. I think the most important part about flames are every little U that you make, they should not be on the same level, if that makes sense. They should be kind of like staggered in heights and then connecting them. So all flames are little U's that are connected with wavy lines. So see how this one over here is a little higher up, the little U, than the other one that I just drew, which is a little farther down. That's what makes it look like actual flames rather than just pointy lines. Don't overthink it, because then that's once you start overthinking how it looks, that's when things get super frustrating. So that's what I used to do, and I used to be like, now what? I kind of just let it flow. You can definitely tell it just takes practice. Now I'm making another U super far down. And now I'm connecting this, evening out the lines. The width of the line should be similar for the most part. It gives consistency and it makes things look more clean, professional. And I think I'm done. I'm just going back and pulling up super lightly on the lines. I learned this trick from somebody on Instagram. It just makes them look less cartoonish, I think. It makes them look a little edgier, a little cooler. I should always have like a little taper, and I'm drawing in like a little extra flame thingy, just because I felt it was a little empty up there in the space. Evening out the lines again. And then I'm going in with some clear acrylic powder. I think this is me a secret, and I'm just using another nail tip and pouring it on top. Not pressing anything in, making sure just to gently pour it over. It's super satisfying to watch, actually. It should be pretty matte. That's how you know you'll need to pour more on. It'll still be pretty shiny, or like a satin finish. Like over here towards the side. I see you tap it off once it gets to the point where you kind of can't see through it anymore. Once again, the side how it's still kind of shiny or kind of dark compared to like the middle. So I'm just gonna pour some more over. Tap it off, and then we're gonna put it in the UV light for 60 seconds. Whenever you do any kind of nail art you want to cure for 60 seconds, you can do for 30, but 60 just ensures that it'll be ready. And I just set it off, and it's like a textured flame. I think it's fall, but it's also not overly fall, and that's how it turned out. Thanks for watching.